Hello class, this is a video tutorial on graphing or sketching linear graphs. And previously we saw how to graph lines that are parallel to the axes. And in this one we're going to be looking at diagonal lines of the form y equals mx plus k, or of the form ax plus by plus k equals 0. We'll learn that these two are actually the same thing, just different ways to represent the same line. And there are three methods in which we graph these lines. One is a table of values, second is a gradient intercept, and the third is the y-intercept and x and y-intercept. In this video we're going to be looking at how to use this in the table of values. So let's keep that a little bit of a heading. We're going to be looking at the table of values in this one. So I've gone ahead and started one here. We'll look at this example first, example A. All we have to do now is substitute values for x here. So we're going to substitute -2 into x and see what y value we get out of it. Just to make this process a little easier, we'll use a calculator. Although you can very well just do this using your hand, just doing it by hand. Here we go. So we're going to substitute -2 for x. Let's begin first with 2. And I use brackets to represent where I'm substituting. 2 bracket -2 plus 1. So when we press equals, we get a y value here. So that there is -3. Let's go again. 2 bracket -1 plus 1 equals, we get a y value of -1. And we keep going in this process. 2 bracket times 0 plus 1, get 1. 2 bracket times 1 close bracket plus 1, get 3. And finally 2 bracket times 2 plus 1, and we get 5. Now, using these values that we have from our table of values, we can now draw our line. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do this. So if you take a look, we extend from -3 to 5. So we need -3 to 5. That gives us a total of 8 centimeters at least. So here we are. So there is our lowest point here, that is -3. And our highest point is, that's our lowest point, -3. And our highest point is up there, which is 5. And going at 1 centimeter intervals, we're going to draw little lines. That's -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 5. That's my y-axis there. Giving them all labels. -3 we said is our lowest point. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know that this extends from -2 until 2, so I only need about 2 centimeters on each side. So this is my 0. I marked it, so I know. That's -1, -2. That there is -1, 1 positive 1, positive 2. And that's my x-axis. That's positive 1, positive 2, negative 1, negative 2. And always when you're graphing your points, you should always use a pencil to graph these points. So here we go. Negative 2, negative 3. That's our first point as a pair. Negative 2, negative 3. Being as accurate as we can. Negative 2, negative 3. Negative 1, negative 1. There it is. There it is there. 0, 1. 1, 3. So I'm just going to draw a little line here just so we can see. There it is. And finally 2, 5. I know it's around about there. 2, 5. And once you're done, you join all the dots. There we are. That there is our line. We draw 2 arrows on each side to indicate that this line extends until infinity on both sides. Just to make it nice and neat, we write the equation on the line. Y equals 2x plus 1. There we are. Now, when you're given something of the form like this, it actually isn't advisable to use table of values for this because it's not so quick and easy to substitute values in. So what we do instead is we convert this by moving numbers and pronumerals around to make it look like this. I'll show you what we mean. So I'm going to keep this the same, but now I'm going to subtract or move positive 4 to the other side. So I'm going to get negative 4x like this. I'm now going to move this negative 4 here to the other side. So I'm going to be left with 2y equals negative 4x plus 4 because I've moved it. And I'm going to divide each of these by 2. So I get y equals negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2x. 4 divided by 2 is plus 2. So this here is actually the same equation as what we started with. Just now it's easier to substitute values into it. Okay. And then now I always just use the values negative 2 until 2. So here's my table of values. X from negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And I'll leave that blank. And then drawing my little table of values ready to be filled. There we are. So we're going to be using this equation here rather than our first one. Here we go. So substituting negative 2. Okay, so I can point to you. Negative 2 bracket substituting negative 2 plus 2. This gives me 6. Moving on to this one, negative 2 bracket substituting negative 1 plus 2 gives me 4. We're going to keep moving along. Negative 2 times, negative 2 bracket 0 plus 2, that gives me 2. -2 bracket times 1 close bracket plus 2, that's 0. And I can see the pattern already. I can tell that this is going to be -2. Now using these points, we're going to graph our line. If you can see, it goes as high as 6 and as low as -2. So what I'll do is, that is about 8 centimeters from -2 to 6. So I'm going to give myself about 8 centimeters here. And I'm just going to take you through full speed how I do my process. -2, -1, that's my 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From -2 to 2, so 2 centimeters on either side. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, -1, -2, -1, -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's my x coordinates, it's my y coordinates. Taking the points, -2, 6, -2 and 6. -1, 4. 0, 2, 1, 0, 2, -2, just so I can get it nice and neat here. Joining my points. And that is the line. I'm going to draw the original line there. Draw that original line, that there is 4x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0. So that there's how to use a table of values with graphing lines. Best of luck.